Are we okay? No, we're not actually. Last year we tried to go to Mexico on our first cruise together, and a hurricane wrapped us in its dark, humid blanket for over a week while still having to take vacation days off of work. And if you've been through a hurricane or any other natural disaster like the recent California wildfires or earthquakes or tsunamis, then you know this is so not a vacation. I had one day of power before returning to work to clean out our refrigerator, our freezer of all the spoiled food that we lost during the hurricane, to clean up the debris that made its way into our house. We had to barricade our front door from water coming in. One single day of feeling somewhat normal, and it was not relaxing. And our trip to Cancun this week wasn't entirely a vacation either. We had appointments in place with 2 different government offices. We had scouting trips planned for where we wanted to live in Mexico. We were so close to the finish line of getting our visas. So close. My husband, Don, no, wait a minute. Let me use our government names. Donald and Nicole. Donald and Nicole have been walking around the house in a state of disbelief and feeling just overall dejected. Like we're an extra in that Last of Us or a zombie in that movie Warm Bodies. I found myself struggling with Walmart grocery bags last Sunday evening. I had to go to the grocery store because we had nothing to eat for breakfast and lunch for the week because we weren't supposed to be here. I found myself cursing at the bags, trying to get them open to throw my shit into it, and thinking, we shouldn't be here. We should be preparing for our consular visit tomorrow morning and our I&M visit on Tuesday, not bagging groceries and getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. We are physically and emotionally drained. And this is twice now in 6 months that we have tried to take a week off from our stressful jobs, a week away from the daily grind, a week away from caring for our very hyperactive pug who is on medication twice a day to prevent seizures, a week away of scooping cat litter and cleaning up cat puke, a week away of not having to deal with everyday life so that we can somewhat relax, regroup, and recharge and come back as better partners, better fur baby parents, better workers with fresh creative ideas, and a refreshed approach to our continued planning for our move to Mexico. But right now, we're just in a pissed off funk. When we were at the airport on Sunday, watching everyone board the plane while we were frantically calling Expedia to request them to add 3 letters to Dawn's first name so that we could get on that flight and not miss our appointments. We were told that they just couldn't make the change, that it would take 72 hours to make that change. The supervisor at Expedia that was very helpful getting all of our hotel and flight arrangements changed, he said it would take 5 to 7 business days for the name changes to process. Are you ready for this? It takes less than an hour for them to do this. And how do I know this? Because for the rest of Sunday, I submitted the name change form to Expedia 5 times to get our names corrected. On the form, you have to enter the incorrect name on the ticket, on the plane ticket, and then the correct name that is shown on the airline ticket. And here's just one example of what we were dealing with when I spelled out Donald as the correct name. If this change had happened at the airport, we still wouldn't have been able to fly. My other submissions to them were to add our middle names because we are not taking another chance of not being able to board without our first, middle, and last legal names shown on our tickets. And before the negative comments start rolling in, yes, I realize that all of this could have been prevented. I should have booked our tickets from the beginning with our full legal names. And if I had booked straight with JetBlue, rather than a third party like Expedia, which is also what that lady next to us with the typo in her name, she did that too. She booked with a third party. then JetBlue could have made the change for us. They were trying to do it for us. So that's a handy tip. You may want to think about how you book international flights and hotels if you want to use a third-party agent or travel agent, because mistakes have to be changed at the source. And from now on, any paperwork that we have to sign or submit, I don't care if it's an online order at J.Crew for the purchase of shorts or some Amazon crap that we don't need, you best be sure that I am going to use our full legal names. So other than the mental toll that this took on us, what did this mistake cost us? Well, it cost us our appointments. So far, the U.S. consular visit has been rebooked, but as of the making of this video on March 13th, we have yet to secure our I&M visit because the appointment slots haven't opened up for the end of March yet. Our facilitator will handle that, thank goodness. Speaking of facilitators, an interesting conversation took place between us and our facilitator on WhatsApp, and that's how we communicate with our facilitator. So while all this shit was going down at the airport, there is another way to complete your Kanhei without an appointment. So go ahead and pause here to see what I was told, and then let me know what you think of this in the comments. As you can see, there are ways around this process. The other costs that we had to eat include $156 boarding fee and bath for our pug, Pico, $167 Expedia change fee for the hotel, $82 change fee for JetBlue, $22 airport parking for just a few hours, $427. And as much as I didn't want to get into politics on my channel, I think it's time because it's going to impact how we sustain ourselves in Mexico. So one question that I've had come up and that we've had for a while now and that I'm seeing pop up in the comments on our channel is about our financial plan and how the current administration could impact that plan. Look, we thought at the beginning of this process that we had a solid financial plan, that we would live off my husband's 401k, his Social Security, and the proceeds from our house sale for the next 5 years until I can access my 401k. And then when I turn 62, I can start claiming benefits from my Social Security account. It was a solid, staggered financial plan. Do we still feel confident with that plan? Nope. No, we don't. If we enter into a recession, we won't be able to sell our house anytime soon. Significantly reducing staffing at the Social Security Administration and eliminating tax on Social Security benefits, it will make it very hard for over 70 million U.S. Americans to get the benefits that they have earned throughout their lifetime. Imagine trying to get help from customer service with less field offices and hardly any, if any, phone customer support. Now imagine that if calling from Mexico or Panama or Thailand, by the time I'm ready to claim benefits in 2034, I don't know if there will be anything to claim. And if there is, I'm looking at least 20% less than what I would have received at 62 today. Eliminating tax on Social Security benefits removes a source of income from the Social Security program, and it will speed up the timeline of when the asset reserves are depleted. Now let's talk about 401k. Now luckily my husband has been very diligent at checking his account daily and moving funds into safer, less risky investments, and it has paid off. So far, he is not seeing any huge dips in his account. Now I too have moved some things around, but I still have a few years to recoup any losses, whereas Don doesn't. So far, I have taken about $11,000 dip in my 401k from its highest point. And if we enter a recession and stock markets continue to decline, our investments could be negatively impacted, and we would have less to retire on and sustain our life in Mexico. I'm hoping by the time this video goes up that we will either be in Cancun or about to attempt this trip again. Thank you for sticking it out with me. The whole point of starting this channel was to document and to show you our journey of moving from Florida to Mexico with our 5 pets, to show you the visa process, the scouting for the right area of Mexico to move to, the financial aspects of a move like this, downsizing and selling our house, as well as the eventual move. We knew that 2025 was going to be a hard year, and we're going to make mistakes along the way. My intention is for you not to make the same mistakes that we have made, and for you to learn from us. And I know that a lot of you are trying to go down this road, and you're trying to get appointments and start this process at the U.S. Consulate in your state. And I recently watched a video from the Mexico Relocation Guide. It was about a year old. And in that video, I'll see if I can link it below, Mariana stated that people a year ago were having the same issues of not being able to get appointments, and that it had to do with training staff on a new system, that appointments would eventually start opening up again in the May timeframe. So I'm hoping that's true this year too. We were pretty lucky in getting back-to-back appointments when we secured them last November, even though things did not go as planned at the Orlando Consulate. So I don't know if this is because of the timing. Our appointments were 2 days before Christmas, or if it was just one of those rare occasions where Donald and Nicole get a lucky break. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please remember to like and subscribe so that I can continue to bring you more content about Mexico, luxury, and daily life in Tampa. Hasta luego, my friends.